Hello, welcome to episode number 505 of the TEW 2020 Challenge Run. This is going to be SmackDown for week 1 of April 2024. The go-home show for SmackDown and just in general for WrestleMania 40. Tonight we have, not Pete Dunne, we have Daniel Bryan against Kevin Owens. We also have, another match I had announced, which is Dexter Lumis against Big Cass. And also face-to-face between The Rock and LA Knight, as well as CM Punk and Seth Rollins. Without any more further ado, let's jump straight into this go-home show. Out comes the final boss to open up SmackDown once again. And he goes, Philadelphia. Finally. The day is almost upon us. The day is almost upon The Rock. You see, The Rock felt it when he came out here, the monarch in the building. It's off the charts here in Philadelphia. Because tomorrow night at WrestleMania 40, the biggest WrestleMania of all time, 2 nights in the link. And now we have some big matches set for that show, including for the WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes against Goldberg, the Royal Rumble winner. We have Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Bayley, Sasha Banks, 4 women who defined a generation for the Women's Championship. We have Io Sky, the Women's World Champion, against Dakota Kai. We have Roman Reigns, my cousin, and my other cousins, my Usos, Jimmy and Jay. We have Swerve, the World Heavyweight Champion, Ilya Dragunov. We have Julia for the ECW Championship with Florence. And last, but certainly not least, we have The Rock. Now The Rock, he's going to be returned to the ring at WrestleMania 40, and standing across the ring from The Rock is not going to be Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's not going to be John Cena. It's not going to be Roman Reigns. It's going to be some guy who thinks he's the new People's Champion. Some guy who thinks he's as cool as The Rock, who thinks he's as badass as The Rock. Some guy named L.A. Knight. And the crowd goes, yeah. And The Rock's like, yeah, L.A. Knight. Now you see, here's the thing. L.A. Knight, this wannabe Timo-looking Stone Cold Steve Austin ass is going to strut his way down to the ring in a minute. His music's going to play. L.A. Knight, boom, 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 boom. And then he's going to come out here. He's going to spit off his catchphrases. And you're going to be in now the palm of his hands. Because he is just like The Rock. And I see The Rock used to be the People's Champion. The Rock is still the People's Champion. It's just the people no longer get a say in the matter. Because when the people have their choice of who to anoint their champion, they enact bums like LA Knight. And at WrestleMania, The Rock's gonna whip his candy ass all over Philadelphia and prove once and for all that you can try as hard as you want, but you can never be The Rock. You can never imitate The Rock, because The Rock is the final boss. If you smell what The Rock out comes LA Knight. Him and The Rock are face to face. Go, let's go Rocky, LA Knight. Let's go Rocky, LA Knight, etc. And he goes, Dwayne. I can call you Dwayne, right? Or do you prefer Mr. Johnson? Let me talk to you. Well, here we are, Rock. We're 1 day away. 1 day away from WrestleMania in Philadelphia. LA Knight's gonna be there. The Rock's gonna be there. This is gonna be a battle that everybody in this arena is gonna want to see. See, here's the thing, Rock. When I was a young man, a wee young boy, I looked up to you and to Stone Cold Steve Austin. You were my heroes, Rock. Now you're more than that. You're my boss. So, when I look at you across the ring right now, I don't see The Rock. You know who I see. And I don't like that guy. And you're looking back, you're telling me you can see Stone Cold Steve Austin? You're damn right you can. Because just like him, I am the baddest son of a bitch here on SmackDown. And in Philadelphia, I'm going to strut my way down to that ring. The crowd cheering me on. I'm going to plant your bald head into the mat. I'm going to get the win. The referee over there is going to count 1, 2, 3. That dummy Mike Rome over there is going to say, here is your winner. And everybody's saying, LA Knight. Yeah. And then once I win that match, Rock, you know what's next for me. We know what's next for me. LA Knight will get to that. But first, let's talk about what's next for you, Rock. Sunday morning when you wake up, old, beaten up, and a loser, you've got to go crawling your ass back to the office to get to work, putting LA Knight's fat paycheck out, and his extra WrestleMania payday that he got facing off with a legend like yourself. As for me, I'm going to go win back that World Heavyweight Championship that I never should have lost in the first place because your insecure ass screwed LA Knight out of being World Heavyweight Champion like he needed to be, like the people needed him to be. So, Rock, you've got a choice. Either sit back like a bitch and take it, or take a little swing at LA Knight right now, because if you do, I'll knock your teeth down your throat. Out comes Swerve, and he goes, hold on, kid, this is far from any of my business. Rocky, I haven't seen you since Dublin. I almost forgot to thank you because, you did play a big hand in me getting this championship, Rock, but here's the thing. I was beating LA Knight's ass anyway. LA Knight thinks he was leaving Dublin as the champion even if The Rock won around LA. Guess what? You ain't on my level. Nobody is. Not you, not The Rock, and damn sure not Ilya. So Ilya Dragunov, he likes to run his mouth and say that you gotta take him to 8 depths of hell to beat him and keep a hold of this championship. That's fine, because I was born down there. So when I'm standing here next week still World Heavyweight Champion, Rock, and you're not around, you can watch from afar, and you can watch the stock prices increase in your little office chair, because Swerve's house is making millions for WWE. And as for you think you should be World Heavyweight Champion so bad? Well, after WrestleMania, whether you win or lose, it ain't gonna be your championship. There's only gonna be one person at the top of this mountain, and that ain't LA Knight. Who's that? Swerve. Ilya Dragunov also makes his way out, and he goes, to be quite honest with you, Swerve, you're coming out here with your championship, with your henchman, with your dancing fool of a best friend by your side. I'm getting quite sick of it, quite honestly. You've only been World Heavyweight Champion for 6 weeks, and you've already done a fantastic job of making everybody beg for me to take it off of you. Now, usually, I don't respond to begging. I think if you want to get something, you've got to get off your ass and earn it. And over the last 2 years, here on this WWE roster, I've done nothing but prove that I've earned it. So Swerve, you can take your rock-covered championship belt. You can bring it to WrestleMania. Because you and I, we're not going to have a match. We're going to have a fight. I'm ready for war tomorrow night, Sunday night, Swerve. Are you? Swerve just laughs and goes, I was born ready, Ilya, but here's my final words to you. You say you like pain. Pain makes you feel alive. That's good. Because at WrestleMania, it's the showcase of the immortals. And if pain makes you feel so alive, Ilya Dragunov, I'ma make you immortal. Then LA Knight goes, hold on. So these guys, they're finished running their yappers out here. Well, I didn't come out here to talk. Well, I did. But my talk with my boss, Mr. Johnson, that's over. Now, It's looking like I'm ready for a fight. It's looking like Ilya Dragunov is ready for a fight. And Swerve, you could get your own ass in the ring here. You bring those two cronies over here. And me and Ilya will teach him a lesson in a hard way. Yeah. So the opening match, tag team match, LA Knight and Ilya Dragunov against Bronco Nima and Lucian Price. Gets a 78. LA Knight and Ilya Dragunov had great chemistry teaming together. I feel like I know that. Because I feel like I've done this exact match before. You know, when it was the triple threat back in December. But yeah, Ilya and LA Knight do win. Ilya pins Lucian Price with the H-bomb in 9:51. 90 for LA Knight, 94 for Ilya, 30 for Bronco, 29 for Lucian. And after the match, they're celebrating in the ring when The Rock gets into the ring and he whips LA Knight of his belt. You know, he doesn't have the Cody belt in this world because, you know, he's not feuding with Cody. So it's just a normal leather belt that he's taken off his trousers. He whips LA Knight on the back of it and LA Knight falls down. Then Ilya Dragunov gets in the face of The Rock. And before they can touch, Swerve flies in out of nowhere. He hits Ilya with the belt. And then LA Knight sort of rolls to the outside of the ring. And then the scene is just The Rock whipping the fuck out of LA Knight with his belt at ringside. And then in the ring, Bronco Nima and Lucian Price hold Ilya Dragunov up. Swerve hits him with the belt in the face a couple of times. Ilya's probably bleeding. And Swerve picks up and goes, "Take a good look at this, Dragunov. Because it's the closest you're ever going to get to holding it." He slams his face on the mat. He goes to leave. But of course, Ilya Dragunov gets back up to his feet. And Swerve sort of stops in his track as he's leaving up the ramp. LA Knight and The Rock have fucked off with the crowd at this point. Like, they've exited stage left. So we're just focusing on Ilya and Swerve. Ilya stands up and he screams, "Come on, finish me, finish me." Swerve runs back into the ring, drops him down with a Swerve stomp again. And hits him with the belt another two times or something. Like, ground and pound punches him. He's got his blood on his knuckles. But Ilya still gets back up to his feet. And he just stands there laughing with blood dripping down his face as Swerve recruits up the ramp. And he goes, "That's all you're going to get. That's just a taste. You know, you're standing up now. You're getting back to your feet now, Ilya. Just you wait till Sunday." Then see Kayla Braxton's backstage. She says, what a way to, get excited for WrestleMania for Swerve Scott and Ilya Dragunov for the World Heavyweight Championship. And speaking of World Championship matches on the SmackDown side, my guest at this time, Dakota Kai. Dakota walks in. She goes, "Dakota, in just one day, you'll be wrestling Io Sky in the co-main event of WrestleMania Saturday. This is months in the making for you. How are you feeling?" Because normally I'm in a position that everybody only ever dreams of being. I'm one day away, 24 hours away from being in one of the co-main events of WrestleMania. So I should be feeling nervous here, Kayla. But in fact, I don't feel nervous. I feel free. I feel alive. This is the least nervous I've felt since November. Because while a main event championship match at WrestleMania is, the biggest moment of my career, and I will probably never get bigger than this, the fact that I got here, everything I had to get through to get here, was so much more nerve-wracking. Kayla, it could have gone wrong at any turn. You almost couldn't write something this perfect. Tegan and Piper, they saw the light. I won the gauntlet. Florence chose Julia. All of these stars aligned just for me. So I understand the privilege I'm in. I understand, we could run these last 5 months back a million times, and there'd probably only be like once or twice where everything have gone down the way that it went down of these last few months. So when you put that into perspective, Kayla, WrestleMania is 1 in a million. I've got one swing. I'm not going to mess it up. Cammy just walks in, with Josh Utami. She goes, "Oh, that was cute, nice little analogy there, Dakota. I see that, you're feeling confident, you're not feeling too nervous about the genius of the sky. But you should be. Dakota, do you not remember the last 2 times you and Io faced off in the match? You lost. And, you're going to say, well, that's because, Queendom got involved. You had a crooked referee. There was interference. But Dakota, that's what we do. We don't play fair. We play smart. And that's why we have Asuka by our side now, because we knew that this day would eventually come where you would try and usurp the genius of the sky. That's not happening. And tonight, I have the heir apparent Utami Hayashishita by my side. Asuka and Io, they're nowhere to be seen. So in the main event, how about you and the heir apparent Utami Hayashishita? 1-on-1. You will leave Tegan and Piper in the back. We'll leave Asuka and Io in the back. Let's do this 1-on-1. She offers a handshake at Dakota. Dakota goes, first of all, I'd never shake. You could give me another million circumstances here, and I'd never, in any timeline, shake that hand of yours. But I am interested in a fight. A nice warm-up match before WrestleMania tomorrow. So you tell Utami I'll see her in the main event. Alone. And she walks off. Cammy goes, well, Kayla, that went off, without a hitch. It's going to be a great sporting contest in the main event with no interference whatsoever. Cammy sort of walks off and Kayla sort of looks confused, like, sure. They get a quick, just like an earlier today video package of like Bianca and Jakara in the locker room, being dickheads, getting on the wrong side of Fallon Henley, or like so one of Fallon's like clothes, her dirty farm wear, got on Bianca's locker room. She's like, girl, I'm in here, getting packed for WrestleMania. I can't be caught dead wearing this dirty trash all over me. Fallon goes, who you calling dirty trash? And she goes, I think I'm looking at it, bitch. EST. So then they have a quick match right now. Oh. They don't have a quick match at all. They have a banger. Bianca does get a win ahead of WrestleMania. Montez Ford is out there with her. Same as Mickey's out there with Fallon, of course. And Bianca does win with the KOD in 11:57. 92 for Bianca Belair, 54 for Fallon Henley. After the match, though, Bianca and Tez are celebrating. And Candice and Johnny pop on the Titantron, and they go, hey, guys, we were just on our way to the link for tomorrow. Before we'd stop by SmackDown here, we're not set to wrestle or anything before, being part of the locker room. This was WrestleMania. It's that buzz, that WrestleMania feelings flowing through us all. And, we tried to stop by and, wish you good luck, but you guys weren't in your locker room. But you thought you would have known better than to leave your locker room unguarded. And the camera pans around and you see Chikara and Ora Mensah laid out in there. And Johnny says, well, don't know what happened to those guys. You might want to come back here and check on them. See you at WrestleMania. Then they shut the camera off. And then Montez Ford and Bianca Belair sort of look at each other in the ring. Sort of like side-eye each other. Sort of just shrug and go, whatever. Because we've established that Oro and Chikara are very much pawns to Bianca and Montez Ford. They're expendable. So they're like, fuck them, we don't care. And then see Cynthia Crespo with Pistolero backstage. She says, the bastard Neville made an impact when he returned to WWE as part of this United States Championship tournament, and now he's 2 days away from facing off with the United States Champion Pistolero at WrestleMania. Now, many people never thought Pistolero would be champion when he was facing off with Solo Sikoa, but here he stands with that belt. So all the people that have written him off, saying he'll never defend at WrestleMania against a guy like Neville. Pistolero's beaten those odds before, and he'll beat them again on Sunday night. But, the United States Champion does need to get in fighting shape before then. Neville's had a whole tournament to run through. So, who else wants to step up and face the United States Champion? Ashanti Adonis walks in. He goes, hey, it's just me. Dollar and B Fab ain't here tonight. But I want that opportunity. I need that opportunity. Dollar, he ain't been cutting it recently. I need that opportunity. I need to prove to you that I belong here. That I can be United States Champion, because that's the God's Adonis truth. It's like God's Adonis truth. Okay, I like that one. We'll see you tonight. 62, whatever, sure. It's Big Cass versus Dexter Lumis. And Big Cass does win in 7:51 with the East River Crossing, because Tony shenanigans are out there. Crowbar shenanigans are out. And then, Dexter Lumis is beaten by Big Cass. 59 for Dexter, 49 for Big Cass. After the match, in come the D'Angelo family. They're going to, make Dexter Lumis sleep with the fishes for good. Went out Rush Chase U, Andre Chase, Keith Lee, and Shane Reynolds. And they send the D'Angelo family packing, including Keith Lee giving a big pounce to Big Cass. And then Dexter Lumis gets to his feet in the corner. He sort of looks. He's in one corner and the Chase U guys are in the other corner. And Andre Chase sort of awkwardly looks across at Dexter. Dexter stares blankly back at him. And Andre Chase sort of nervously puts his thumb up, yeah. And then Dexter emphatically puts his thumb up back to Andre Chase. So I think we've found the fourth partner at WrestleMania. It's going to be Andre Chase, Keith Lee, Shane Reynolds, and Dexter Lumis against the D'Angelo. For the fate of Chase U, by the way. Of course, they still own the land that the university's built on. And, yeah. So, WrestleMania, an 8-man tag. I was going to put some of the girls in here, but there's only 2 girls. I think I've said this already. But there's only 2 girls in the D'Angelo family, and there's 3 healthy members, because I think Haley's still out. So I'd have to find another girl, and then that would just get crowded. So, I'm just leaving it as the men for now. Thea, DKE, Elektra, and Adriana will all be out there and be involved in the match, because, obviously it's going to be tornado rules. So, Colton, don't worry. Thea will still have a presence at WrestleMania. And she'll be in the Battle Royal anyway, so. Out comes Seth Rollins. Over the last few weeks, you guys have seen the workhorse side of Seth freaking Rollins. You guys have seen why I believe myself to be the greatest professional wrestler of this generation. And at WrestleMania on Sunday night, I get the chance to prove it. I get the chance to prove it against a so-called self-anointed best in the world, CM Punk. They boo him. They boo Seth, that is. Because now I expected that reaction. A lot of people love Phil. I've made abundantly clear what I think of Phil. I think he's a cancer to this industry. I think he never should be back here in WWE after everything he did to try and tear this place down when we needed him the most. And now he's back. We're thriving. We don't need him around here. But he's here to leech off his former glory and try and take some of that credit and some of that momentum for himself before he inevitably twists the knife and stabs this company and all of you in the back. I don't consider myself a prophet, but it's CM Punk. I know how he is. So at WrestleMania, it's my job to kill this cancer and cut it out before it can spread. It's my chance to, really hammer home that, Phil, we've moved beyond the need for you. Go back to being irrelevant. Go back to crying after you've been knocked out twice in the UFC. Go back to writing your silly little Marvel comics or starring in crappy horror movies. Because wrestling, it's just not for you anymore, Phil. I'm sure you're so good at your other ventures. But maybe leave the wrestling stuff to your wife. Out comes CM Punk. He goes, first of all, Seth, you must be a damn fool if you think mentioning my wife's success is gonna be a shot at me. You know you've been there. Second of all, I want to actually say and extend a thank you to you, Seth. Thank you for being honest to these people. Because you were right about one thing you said. Well, potentially. You said that maybe wrestling has evolved past the need for CM Punk. Maybe CM Punk's not got it anymore. Maybe CM Punk is using the rising popularity of the WWE to to latch onto himself. But Seth, there ain't a damn thing wrong with that. Sure, this place doesn't need CM Punk, just like CM Punk doesn't need this place, but goddammit, when we're together, you can feel the energy. You can feel the difference. When CM Punk's out here, ratings, they skyrocket. When Seth Rollins is out here, you can feel indifference. When Seth Rollins is out here, you can feel the channels changing at home because, we're waiting for the real stars. Where's The Rock? Where's CM Punk? Where's Roman Reigns? And like I said, ooh. So, Seth, you may be right. Maybe I haven't got any more. Maybe I'm going to step into the ring on Sunday night. I'll tear every single muscle in my body and I'll be out forever. Maybe this will be my last match. You just don't know with this business. But there is one thing that I do know, one thing I can be sure of, Seth, and that's that I'm going to give it every single thing I've got to prove why I do call myself the best in the world, and you can call it self-anointed, you can call it egotistical, but it's the damn truth. I don't give a damn if you think I'm an egomaniac, because I'd rather be an egomaniac and know that I'm good than rest on my laurels and lose big opportunity after big opportunity after big opportunity, just like you. So, Seth, so you're right, we're not main eventing this year, and whose fault is that, Rollins? It's yours. You eliminated me from the Royal Rumble. Should have seen it coming. I should have known what a sore loser bitch you'd be, but I didn't. And you embarrassed me in my hometown, Seth. But make no mistake about it, next year CM Punk's name will be on the marquee, but for this year, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins will not serve as the main event of WrestleMania. Hell, maybe next year, Seth. Maybe next year, if I'm the champion and you're in the Royal Rumble match and you win it, maybe next year we'll be standing here a different story and we will be about to main event our WrestleMania together. But for now, I can't think of a better time than Sunday night. And I can't think of a better place than for CM Punk and Seth Rollins to kick that son of a bitch off. So how about it, Seth? If you want me gone so badly, why don't we tear this up? First match, WrestleMania Sunday. And if you can beat me like you so claim you can, I'll be out of your hair. Seth goes, the opportunity to not wait 3 hours backstage and beat your ass. I'll see you with Phillies, Phil. I'll see you Sunday night. I'll see you in that opening match, but trust me, WrestleMania, you're gonna wish you didn't accept that opening match. Because, Phil, do you really want the first thing people see on night 2 of WrestleMania to be the corpse of a washed former great who hung in the spotlight too long, came back, thought he could hang with a better generation than his, only to be embarrassed by the very best to ever do it? So yeah, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, they're not main eventing, they're opening up night 2 of WrestleMania. Night 1's opening up with the ladder match, obviously, and then the night 2 opener is going to be Seth Rollins and CM Punk in singles action. Then get an angry Tony D'Angelo promo backstage. He goes, hey, Dexter Lumis, I thought we'd done with you. I thought we got this creep out of here. Capiche? But now, Chase, you are hanging around with this weird, creepy guy, rising from the dead, thinking he's gonna got business with us. He can't hang with the D'Angelo family. So, Chase, enjoy making amends with that guy. Because of WrestleMania, when we put him down, as well as you, and make all of you, Chase, you idiots, sleep with the fishes. I'ma tear your university down. I'll make it a toilet. There we go. 90. I'm going to be completely honest, this was a test for Ashanti. Because Ashanti was doing really well as a part of Hit Row. And, you know, top dollar is top dollar. So, yeah. And he passed this test, like, holy shit. He gets a 78, which I guess isn't as good as the 93 that Pistolero got, but an overall 90 rated match is, for Pistolero and Ashanti, they banged it. And Pistolero does win, of course, in 1040 with a Revolution Fly. 93 for Pistolero, 78 for Ashanti, the Adonis. And yeah, nice win for US champion Pistolero ahead of his defense against Neville. That's on night 2. But after the match, the bastard does take Pistolero down with some sort of springboard move. He then locks him in that Rings of Saturn. I've just realised that the Brutalizer, that's what it was called, right? Was. I don't know if that's what it was called in WWE, if that's just the AEW name for it. But yeah, I think that's what it was called, the Brutalizer. The Black Arrow, the Red Arrow, the Rings of Saturn move, the submission hold. Yeah, he just locks him in that. And then looks down at him, shouts at him and goes, 2 more days until I take what's mine. You can see Dakota backstage, you know, she's getting her jacket on, knee pads, boots, all that shit, getting her gear ready for the main event. When Tegan and Piper walk in. And Dakota goes, what? She goes, I'm just checking in for the main event. You know, Utami, she's a tough son of a bitch. And Dakota goes, I know. You know, I had to face her in the gauntlet, Tegan. It was tough then, it's going to be tough tonight. But I'm ready. Tomorrow night, when you defend against her and Asuka, and she's weakened, you can thank me for it. But you heard what Cammy said out there. It's woman v woman. She's going to have Cammy out there, but she's no physical threat to me. I can't have her making excuses for her girls either. So I've already spoke to Candice. I need you two to do the same. Stay back here tonight. Because if she's going up there alone, so am I. And then she leaves. Another 90 rated match. Not gonna lie, I expected a little bit better from this. But Kevin Owens was apparently off his game, which I guess he is holding off for tomorrow. But yeah, Daniel Bryan cheats to beat Kevin Owens, which means, I believe, Bryan and Pete Dunne have defeated Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in both the singles matches. Because Pete Dunne beat Sami last week, and now Bryan's beat KO here. And that tag match is on night 1. Yeah. So that is tomorrow night. We'll see that tag team match. That could steal the show, you never know. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defending against the Dragon's Dojo of Daniel Bryan and Pete Dunne. We then head to another match. This is a 8-person mixed tag team match, you know, previewing the Battle Royals for both the men and the women. It is the heel team of Bronson Steiner, The Miz, Tiffany Stratton, and Mariah May, who pick up the win over David Martin, Angelo Dawkins, and Nightlight, when Bronson Steiner pins Angelo Dawkins with a big spear in 13-18. Imagine he's not in the match much, like, because it's The Miz, you know, he's the dickhead. And obviously, if Tiffany has to tag in a guy, she's obviously going to pick The Miz, because, you know, they're both dickhead, egomaniac. So then, once Bronson Steiner tagged himself in, he runs amok, he spears David Martin out of the air off a springboard, cuts Angelo Dawkins in half as well, pins him to win the match for his team. 39 for Mariah, 71 for Tiffany, 63 for The Miz, 76 for Bronson, 66 for Shantae, 72 for Naomi, 73 for Angelo, and a 67 for David. Then after the match, you know, The Miz, he raises the arm of Bronson Steiner when Angelo Dawkins gets back to his feet. And The Miz is like, hey, you know, spear him again. He cuts Angelo Dawkins in half once again. The other French guys come out to check on David Martin. He spears the fuck out of Malik Blade. He spears the fuck out of Idris Inoue. David Martin at this point is on the ropes going for a springboard. He springboards in. He's plucked out of the midair with a spear. And The Miz is there standing around going, ha, hell yeah, bro, you're cooking. He gets spear. He spears the fuck out of The Miz. Tosses The Miz to the floor. And then Jacob Fatu wanders out when he gets in the face of Bronson Steiner. And the two of them square up. They get each other's faces. They sort of like do the big meaty men like colliding clothesline spot. And then he goes to spear Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu super kicks him as he does, which groggies Bronson and sends him packing to the outside. So yeah, just a little bit of a Battle Royal preview. Bronson Steiner obviously the favourite for the whole match. But Jacob Fatu is a big boy as well, so who knows? 87 rated main event. I'll take that. Dakota and Utami didn't want to beat either of them a day before WrestleMania because they are both wrestling on night one because the matches are sort of like linked. Dakota is in the co-main event of WrestleMania. And Utami's in the tag title match. So yeah, it does end with a DQ. Utami gets disqualified in 13:53, probably be hitting her with a ring bell or something. And then 81 for Dakota, 80 for Utami. So 87 actually is kind of an overachieving match there. And then the second that Utami gets DQ'd, she rolls straight out of the ring and regroups with Cammy like at the bottom of the ramp. And Dakota sort of gets the thing, goes, "Come on, you son of a bitch, get back in here, get back in here." And Cammy goes, I promised this match would be a fair fight and that nobody else would get involved in the match. But the match is over. Out come Io and Asuka. They stand side by side. Well, no, they don't stand side by side. Obviously, Io's in the middle, and then Asuka stands the other side of Utami. And then the three of them slowly walk towards the apron. They jump up on the apron. They will stand on the side of the ring, shield style. Dakota stood there. She's picked up the ring belt at this point, ready to use it as a weapon, looking concerned. When her expression changes from concern to a smile. At this point, Io's stepped into the ring. And they're both just smiling at each other. When Utami and Asuka are yanked off the aprons by Piper Niven and Deegan Knox, they brawl around ringside. Io sort of notices this. Dakota's just staring a hole through Io. Io's staring back at Dakota. You can feel the tension. And then they both swing at each other at the same time. And then we get, the big punch exchange spot. That spot, the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn punch spot. And then Io ends up getting on the upper hand. She goes for a springboard drop kick. Dakota super kicks her out of the air. And then hits her with the belt. And says, "This is this is the last jewel in your crown. This is the last thing that gives you power around here, Io. 24 hours, one more day, and this place is free. This place is free of your rule, and the liberation of Queendom will be complete." She goes to hit her with the belt, just like Swerve did with Ilya earlier on tonight, but Cammy grabs her legs and pulls her out to safety. Asuka and Utami also regroup with Queendom on the ramp, and then the show goes off the air. Dakota leaning over the ropes, Tegan and Piper by her side, pointing back the WrestleMania sign. One more day, bitch, one more day. And then maybe an F-bomb, maybe one more fucking day. 86 rated show. Yeah, I guess a great go-home show to hype up no main event matches at WrestleMania. Because, I shouldn't have left it up to democracy if the answer was going to piss me off. So, it is what it is. But, yeah. The main event of night one of WrestleMania has been set up rather nicely here. We do have a big velocity to get through, though. It's featuring Angel Garza vs. Ricochet, their third match. As well as, is it Dante Rios against Santos Escobar, I believe. Yeah, see you on the other side for that one. The final velocity before WrestleMania, the final stop at all before WrestleMania, kicks off with the third match of this Dragon's Dojo singles match series against LA Extreme. They are 1-for-1. Roosh beat Drew Gulak, and Oney Lorcan beat Jorge Santana. And it is Dante Rios who beat Santos Escobar here in 14:26 by submission. 65 for Dante, 73 for Santos. So yeah, the momentum is with the Dragon Dojo right now. So let's see if they can take home the Trios Championships at WrestleMania. At 58, Zachary Ben-Shahar beats Javon Evans in 11:23. Champagne Super Knee Bar. 65 for Zachary, 33 for Javon. Whose stats I probably need to bump up, because his flashy list is only 60 odd, and that's his whole thing. He's flippy. But I've only just imported him into the mod, because he wasn't in the April mod. April 2020 mod. that I started with 4 years ago. He was 15 years old. So, yeah. So that's why his stats probably aren't that. I just wanted to test him out, see how he did. He did alright. 33 with, like, little pop is pretty good. 57, this match got killed by apparently a muscle strain. That was definitely the reason, definitely the reason why the match was so bad. But it's a UK boys triple threat match. Mark Andrews, RKJ, and JJ Gale. Mark Andrews does pick up the win, pinning JJ Gale of a shooting star. 52 for Gale, 65 for RKJ, and a 73 for Mark Andrews. Then our main event, JJ Gale apparently got heat because he caused a botch. Yo, Tay, sort your fucking boys out. 81. Damn. Apparently this went too long. Tragic. But yeah, Ricochet does win the series. He beats Angel Garza with the 630 in 17-18. 82 for Garza, 93 for Ricochet. That ends Velocity. That ends the road to WrestleMania. Gets us a 78. I'm so glad the only injury was a thigh strain to Mark Andrews, who's not on the show. Putting Utami and Dakota in the main event almost didn't happen because I was pooing myself that one of them was going to get injured. But thankfully, we made it through unscathed. And yeah. Well, Matt's what you thought of the show. Let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you next time for episode 506, which will be WrestleMania 40. I think I might do the kickoff thing again, but I can't remember if I called them actual episodes last time. So 506 will either be WrestleMania Night 1 or the WrestleMania kickoff show for Night 1, which will feature the Cruiserweight Trio Championship match and the Women's Battle Royal, I believe, with the Andre Battle Royal and the Men's Cruiserweight match on Night 2. You'll see the match card video comes out, later on at 5 o'clock on the day this is uploaded. So, yeah, you'll be able to see for yourself. But yes. Let's see if I can go over the entire, off the top of my head. I haven't got it open in front of me. Let me see if I can remember. Because there's 2 pre-show matches and 13 matches each night. We've got the aforementioned Trios Championship match and Women's Battle Royal on the pre-show of Night 1. Then Night 1 has Cody versus Gunther in the main event. And then Io and Dakota in the co-main event. Because, fuck you, I'm still advertising it as a main event and putting them on the thumbnail. The ECW Women's Championship match. I didn't want to put both for a Rumble winners on the same night. But I felt having Cody, Gunther, Io, Dakota, and the Bloodline match all on Night 1 was stacked too much. And obviously I wanted one of each brand on each night. And I thought that was stacked too much, so, I had a compromise and put both Rumble winners on Night 1. Then you have the IC title ladder match. You have Bryan and Pete Dunne against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. You have The God against ZSJ. You have the Women's Tag Title match. You have... What else do you have on Night 1? The Rock and LA Knight is on Night 1. Is she going to live on Night 1? No, I don't think so. Ziggler and Adam Cole, I think, is on Night 1. Mello and Trick is on Night 1. Candice and Johnny against Bianca and Montez Ford is on Night 1. What the fuck else is on? Doesn't matter. I can't remember the whole thing off the top of my head. But you'll see on the video. Yeah. See you then.